Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So before we dive into today's episode, which is Kyle Richards is not having her best season, and it might be getting worse or maybe better for her, depending on how things go, with the new rumors that Andy Cohen wants Lisa Vanderpump to come back to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills amid a potential cast shakeup. Oof. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. It is a fun and easy way to support the show, and I'd really appreciate it. So with that, let's go. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Andy Cohen is reportedly hoping for a cast shakeup ahead of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 15. Although an insider suspects the series' longest-running cast member Kyle Richards would not be happy about it. The 56-year-old Watch What Happens Live host and longtime Bravo exec is allegedly wanting to see Lisa Vanderpump, who was last featured on the show during season 9, back in the lineup. Rumors have been circulating around Beverly Hills that Andy Cohen wants Lisa Vanderpump to return to the show, a source close to production told OK Magazine on January 16th. According to the report, Lisa's return would definitely shake up the cast, but it would also be welcomed by many, as Lisa was a beloved cast member for several seasons and remains a fixture on both Bravo and Peacock with her spin-offs, including Vanderpump Rules and Vanderpump Villa. Okay. Before we dive into all of this, here are my 2 cents real quick. This is the thing. Season 14, I know it's like Dorit's, coming of age season. She's cussing people out. She's smoking. She's doing the most. She's putting Kyle in her place. She has Bozema up her butt 24/7. I get it. My question is, are we enjoying this season? Are we enjoying season 14? To be honest with you, I'm not. I usually review the show and I'm into it, but for whatever reason, I'm not into this season. I'm not into everybody being, Dorit's bandwagon. That's just not it for me. To me, Bozema is falling really flat. I think she's very boring, and I don't like the whole, yes, queen, yes, girl, chucking and jiving for Dorit. That's not it for me. Erica, to me, just seems weird, sad, and kind of lame. Sutton and Garcelle are carrying the show. Kyle is just spinning out of control and having temper tantrums every scene in every episode. I'm not sure I'm really enjoying it. But what do you guys think? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just on one. I want to know what you guys think. Do you agree with Andy Cohen that there needs to be a cast shakeup? I agree. I would like to see some new people, some fresh blood, some fresh faces. I would love to see some unknowns. I wouldn't mind Lisa Vanderpump coming back. I love LVP. But if Lisa Vanderpump comes back, Kyle has to stay because there has to be the reckoning between Kyle and Lisa. Whether they're able to get their friendship back on track or be cordial, whatever the case may be, frenemies for life, whatever the case may be, we need that reckoning between these two women. We need a moment where they come together and they hash it out on camera. They let it all hang out, all the grievances, get it out there on both sides in order for it to be satisfying for Lisa to come back. If Lisa comes back and Kyle is gone, okay, I could see Lisa on Vanderpump Rules. I could see her on Vanderpump Villa. I could see her on all the other shows that she's doing. For it to make sense for her to come back, Kyle has to stay, and there has to be that moment of reckoning between her and Kyle, however that comes out. Now, me personally, I don't need Dorit to come back. I'm not a Dorit fan. I'm not drinking her Kool-Aid this season. I think it's been enough of her temper tantrums, to be perfectly honest. I'm team PK. It is what it is. And I wouldn't mind a little bit more of a shakeup, something more going on. But let's see what else people are saying about this. Okay. Now it says one person who probably wouldn't be thrilled, however, is Kyle. This would likely upset Kyle as Lisa's last stint on the show saw the pair at odds, with Kyle being kicked out of Lisa's house by Lisa's husband, Ken Todd, the source noted. While Lisa has said previously that she would not return to the show, the insider went on to suggest that the upcoming reboot of Pump Rules now could be the perfect time. With Vanderpump Rules getting completely revamped, it would be the perfect time for that to premiere and to bring Lisa back on the show, she was an original cast member on The Source Explained. Just last month, during a December 5th interview on Access Hollywood, Housewives Nightcap, Lisa addressed her ongoing drama with Kyle. I think when people talk about the opposite of love, it's hate. It's not. It's kind of indifference. It's just like, hi, how are ya? Lisa recalled. It needs to start with an apology to ever reconcile, because you can't ever pick up a friendship when somebody's calling you a liar. That doesn't work for me at all. Around the same time, while speaking with Entertainment Tonight, Lisa shaded her as a terrible friend. If it started with an apology, then maybe there's a conversation, but I'm kind of busy, she added of a potential reconciliation. Now, this might be an unpopular opinion, but y'all know I love an unpopular opinion. I would actually love for Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump to reconcile. I know what Kyle did was horrible when Lisa was grieving the loss of her brother and the loss of her mother, and she participated in, Puppygate and lying on Lisa and the faux Fox 5. I totally get that. I'm not saying I want Lisa to trust her completely and to like blindly come back with her, but I do think it would be very entertaining to see these women come back together in some semblance of cordiality or a friendship. And then I want them to gather all the girls, like to gather Dorit, and, Erica was in on it too, because, people are like, oh, Dorit, she's going after Vile Kyle. But don't forget, Dorit and Erica were also a part of the Faux Fox 5. They also were a part of going after Lisa Vanderpump when she was grieving. So we can't just blame it all on Kyle and forget that Erica and Dorit were in on it too. Now, I do want Kyle to face accountability for doing that. And I'm not saying Lisa Vanderpump is perfect. Nobody's perfect. I like Lisa 100%, but I'm not saying anybody is perfect. But I think when it comes to these two women, I'm team Vanderpump. I do think it would be interesting. I would love to see Lisa Vanderpump come back and her to bring one of her friends, like one of her like rich, cool friends. Sort of how like Sutton has Jennifer Tully. I would be cool to have Lisa Vanderpump bring one of her friends. Like, we haven't really seen Lisa Vanderpump's friends, So I think that would be cool. I know like she brought in like PK and Yolanda and like all of that stuff, but I mean like one of her like homie good girlfriends. I think that would be really interesting. Now, what also is very interesting is Andy Cohen acting like he has any power at Bravo. He's basically just like a figurehead. He has Watch What Happens Live, which to me is really whack as hell. I don't know who's producing that show. I think it's just a bunch of interns who don't really know what they're doing producing Watch What Happens Live. That's a whole nother video. They have their facts wrong. The games are weird. Andy Cohen is not prepared. He kind of just shows up but doesn't really know what he's talking about or doing, and then he gets an attitude. I feel bad for the interns who are running this show at Watch What Happens Live. They're doing their best. But when you have a boss who's kind of checked out and lazy, and then it looks bad on you, it's not the intern's fault. It's Andy Cohen's fault, to be perfectly honest with you. That's a whole other thing. Andy Cohen really doesn't have any power at Bravo. He's hosting the reunions, doing a piss poor job at that. I think he's trying to get better because he's had a lot of bad feedback, but we'll see. But he doesn't have the power to cast. He can't fire housewives and he can't hire them anymore. So there's that. They took that power away from him many years ago. He's pretty much a figurehead. He has perceived power, but not actual power. So we'll see. So with that, you guys, let me know what you guys think. Are you enjoying season 14? I'm kind of on the fence. Do you want a cast shakeup? And if so, do you want Lisa Vanderpump back? And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.